sure we tell Pat that wasn't me, Pat. I think we took a little hit, but yeah.
I'm
Duke,
back.
hey, man, sorry we had a little hit there. Where were we talking about Duke there? Hey, did you hear? I think it's official now. Go ahead.
St. John's, they're a really good team, man.
Yeah, and Patino.
Dude, no, they play so tough. They pumped UConn. Yeah. I can't stand Dan Hurley for one, but dude, keep an eye out for St. John's. They're leading the Big East right now.
I agree.
Don't be surprised if they somehow sneak in. Like I'd put them as another sleeper team.
Yeah.
That'll make the Final Four because they just play so physical, man.
And he can coach. He's another guy I wouldn't buy a used car from. But Rick Pitino, game day, he can be a difference maker in that huddle. He knows what he's doing.
What do you think he's going to do with the used car?
I just think he's a drippy used car salesman that I wouldn't buy one from. Hey, how about this? Hey, how about this? Thank goodness, he's been at St. John's for 2 years now, right? Last year was his first year.
Yep.
Good thing Walter Clayton didn't go with him. He was at Iona with Clayton. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, there is a rumor out there that Coach Pitino offered Walter Clayton a lot of money to come to St. John's.
Really?
Florida emergently met the need to ensure that he was going to stay here.
Yeah.
That's a rumor. I don't know if that's the truth, but I believe Walter Clayton's good enough, and he played with Pitino before, so I could see that being truthful. I don't know.
Ooh,
a theory.
Where would Florida be without Clayton? Wow. Glad
still good. Still good, but not maybe not right where they are, but still really good.
And did you hear the Gator news? Condon has been cleared. He dressed out, so he went through warm-ups, I guess, Saturday. Didn't play, but he's been cleared now. He's been cleared.
What, he only missed two games?
I think 2 games, yeah.
That's all it takes, man, for these ankle sprains, I guess. Now, who we got next? We got Georgia.
Tomorrow.
All right. That's a big challenge. Yeah, big one. I wish I would be there, down in on this weekend. I wish. But I'm going to be working the next 2 Saturdays.
Yeah. So what's your schedule?
Here's my work.
Your Tuesday night in studio tomorrow, and then Saturday.
Yeah.
Back in Charlotte.
Yeah. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, is my last midweek regular season game.
Gotcha.
So I'll be doing nothing but weekends from here on out. We got this upcoming weekend, and then we got March 8th, where we got some fantastic games that can mean so much.
Yeah.
Auburn and Alabama playing again in the jungle in Auburn this time, and then for the NCAA tournament, I'll be up there Saturday and Sunday.
Nice.
So I'll be going until the last SEC team is alive, and hopefully that's the championship game.
I remember that last year, man. You were like, "I'll be up there until we get out of this thing." So tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm looking at the schedule. You'll have halftime Florida Georgia, and Tennessee LSU is the 9 o'clock. So you'll have halftime of that game.
Hey, man, don't be surprised. Like just because Tennessee's coming off a good game, don't be surprised if they trip.
Wow,
I know it's LSU. Just don't be surprised if they stumble a little bit if the game's close.
And then tomorrow there's also Mississippi State, Alabama. Of course, that's on ESPN2, but y'all will hit that, right? South Carolina, Missouri, you'll hit.
We'll talk about them in the late night show and at some half times.
But your 2 half times will be the 2 SEC, right? Obviously.
Yep.
And that'll be Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU. You don't work on Wednesday, but then you'll go back up Friday for Saturday's game. Is that how that works?
Yep. I'll go Friday night for Saturday's game and be back Sunday.
And how cool!
It's kind of nice because at least Saturday's super long, but at least Sunday I don't need to have no reason to take the early flight. So
yeah.
I normally always take the 7:51 or 7:52 a.m. flight when I'm coming back to get here around 9. Oh yeah, it's a rough one.
Wow, that is early. Before we let you go, Pat, I think for the Florida basketball program, which has great tradition. You've been a big part of the tradition. But Florida basketball is not considered yet a blue blood. I think for the
Not yet,
program,
no.
I think for Florida's program to keep growing, I think it's a big deal that ESPN Game Day is in Gainesville Saturday. That's a big deal, I think.
Yeah, that is. Man, I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's a
Blame
big,
my boss, my doggone boss.
The only thing I don't like about it is game day will be there and it ends at noon, and the game Saturday is at 8:30. I hate
8:30, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But how electric is that place going to be Saturday? Particularly if Florida wins tomorrow in Athens and they roll back into Gainesville, facing a really good A&M team. The Rowdies will be there early for the game day.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
I don't want to say it's a desperate game for A&M, but it's definitely a game where they're looking to affirm that they believe they are a great team. They've stubbed their toe here a few times in the last few weeks, so they're a good team. They're a good team, man. It's just hard for me to see their offense consistently, man.
Yeah, and does anybody in the country play to their coach's personality? Like, man, they play tough, and Buzz Williams is tough. He's a tough dude, man.
But Buzz is so, like, he dresses so good.
He does.
He dresses so good too. I don't see any part of the A&M game that's like as stylish, and finesse as he look. I mean, but he looks he looks pretty built. It looks pretty built in those things.
He looks like he'll chew your ass out too in that locker room.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, I know tomorrow and Wednesday we look. How about Saturday in the SEC? You've got Auburn at Kentucky Saturday, 1:00 ABC. You've got, hold tight, let me scroll down. This is
hold tight.
This is Saturday. You've got Alabama at Tennessee, 4:00.
Ooh,
Saturday.
Can't wait for that one.
Golly. How about those two right there for you? That is some good.
I'm definitely, I don't drink energy drinks, and I try not to drink as much coffee unless I feel like I really need it. Saturday is a Celsius, big boy Celsius day.
Hey,
because not only do I just staying awake, but like I really want to be engaged.
I agree.
In those games. Those are awesome.
On Saturday, Missouri at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt coming off a nice win. Saturday is a hell of a day.
Dang, Missouri at Vanderbilt. Man, that's another tough.
And then Texas A&M.
Game.
Then Texas A&M at Florida, 8:30. Hell of a schedule Saturday. Before we let you go tonight, FSU can kick North Carolina to sleep. I think FSU hosts North Carolina. I don't think I've ever said FSU's got a chance. I think to knock North Carolina out of March Madness, and they play them in Tallahassee tonight.
I don't think I don't think I know the names of any Florida State player.
Isn't that something?
This year
They have fallen off the face of the earth athletically.
I don't think I know the name of any of those players.
That is tough. All right, Pat. Safe travels to get up there.
Thanks, buddy.
Do your work tomorrow.
Well,
if you
I got it's weird, man. It's a Monday, and JU normally plays Thursday, Saturday, but they have a game tonight, so I'll be heading to Swisher. Man, they stubbed their toe this year. UNF's gotten them twice. Florida Gulf Coast has got them twice. Yeah, but they can still make the tournament. They're just not going to win. They're not going to win the ASUN.
It looks like the ASUN, they're playing Monday today, and then Wednesday, and then everybody takes the week off and meets. Their conference tournament's 1 week ahead of the Power Four.
Yeah.
So somebody's getting a bid out of there. I hope it's JU.
Yeah.
Hope it's either JU or UNF.
For TV, yeah. I mean, it could be. It could be JU for sure, but don't sleep on that North Alabama team.
Yeah, I heard that game on the radio, and they sounded pretty good. All right, Pat, if you can squeeze a call in tomorrow, great. We understand if you can't, you're busy as heck. And safe travels. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
That's our buddy Patrick Young. We'll let Pat go. We got a quick question on the chat. Fan says he's going to the A&M Florida game, wondering why did Florida drop down one spot. That's bull. I kind of agree. It doesn't really matter because there's a tournament, but Duke goes up to Madison Square Garden. They play in the most famous gym in the world. They're Duke. They beat Illinois by 43. I still don't necessarily think I would have moved them around, but for people to not know what we're talking about, Duke has jumped Florida. Duke now is 2 in the major polls. Florida's dropped to 3. Don't think it matters, but we will see. There is a tournament, so it works itself out in basketball. Let's take a break. We hope to get with Brent Beard, talking college football and basketball on the other side. We'll start landing the Monday edition of Young and Norvelle after this quick timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
Hope to catch up with Brent Beard here before we get out of here. Hit some college basketball, of course. It's that time of year, and college football. As a matter of fact, as crazy as this sounds, do you realize Saturday, March 1st, this coming Saturday, your first spring camp opens in college football. Liberty opens up spring practice this Saturday, March 1st. Hell, the Gators start the following Thursday. March the 6th. So spring ball is not too far away. 181 days, if you happen to be counting, until the start of college football season. News around these parts, the Jaguars introduced their new general manager today. You probably have seen and heard sound bites and video clips. James Gladstone was in town. The whole entourage for the Jaguars was on hand, as you would expect. Liam Cohen and Khan, the owner, of course, Tony Baselli, and then, of course, James Gladstone in place now. I would imagine it was a quick change of clothes and then a jump on a plane. I would imagine he is either in or en route to Indianapolis, where the Jaguars' brain trust and really all of the NFL's brain trust for all the franchises will be converging. The combine, the check-in and stuff is going on like today and tomorrow. You heard Ben go over it, and then mid to late week, the actual physical on-field stuff gets going, and they break it down position groups. So you will get your fair share of combine talk, and it's that time of year. It keeps one of the 3 or 4 things that the NFL has working every offseason that keeps the NFL front and center. Man, they do a great job. If you think about the NFL calendar, and you can't fake this. You've got to have things that interest the fans, but it's no coincidence the combine a few weeks after the Super Bowl. That gets you late February, March. You catch your breath from there, and you'll start having free agency, and the actual draft comes up in April. So that weeks ahead of the draft, it's top of mind. Every sports fan in the world, in the country, is talking draft. So you've got the combine that gives the NFL great coverage. You've got the draft. Now, this is all in the offseason. Great weeks and weeks of NFL talk in the offseason. You've got free agency. And after that's all wrapped up, mini camps get the fans a little excited. What is that, May, June, rookie mini camps in May, a couple weeks after the draft. And then you turn around and the NFL camps open in July. Remember now, the camps, the NFL teams, they have their preseason games before really college football gets going. And then the NFL does a super job as we welcome Brent Beard. I think I hear Brent in the back. No? Did I hear Brent? I thought I did.
He's here, but he's getting on his setup.
Okay, we're getting Brent Beard. But just following up, Ben, I know you're an NFL fan. You're a big Dolphin fan. NFL in the offseason, they've always they keep that shield in front of you. I mean, they do a super, super job. And it's not coincidence. They've mapped out these off 6 months, these off 5 months. And, man, the NFL just gives you they give you enough tease, and then that gets you back to the regular season. News out of Gainesville real quick before we get Brent Beard. Alex Condon has been cleared to play. You may have seen he was dressed out in uniform, did not play Saturday in Baton Rouge. But when I saw him dressed out Saturday in Baton Rouge, never got in the game, but that told you a lot. That tells you were going through pregame warm-ups, shoot-around, layup drills. That told me Condon's close. I think he will be available. He's been cleared. Not sure if and how much he'll play tomorrow in Athens. It may be as needed kind of thing. But you'd want to get him on the court, 5 or 6 minutes, both halves, if you can. Check in with Brent now. Is he set up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Well, Chino and I are doing well.
Good to hear.
Chino heard your voice and hopped on here.
Ready to talk some ball?
Quickly. Yes. And now I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it very well might. But now Florida's much better than Georgia is. But you and I both know that Mike White somehow has one of these it all comes together games toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
So Florida really needs to be careful about this game.
I agree. And I would imagine 5 minutes after the loss to Auburn, Georgia basketball started switching their attention to Florida. And I looked at Georgia's remaining 4. Everybody's got 4 games left. Florida's the last team that they play in conference that's ranked. So
Right.
this is, if you're Mike White and you're Georgia basketball, I think you started pointing to Tuesday night in Stegman, in Athens. This is probably their season. I don't see Georgia winning 4 or 5 days in a row in Nashville. They just
No.
aren't built like
No.
that.
Absolutely not.
This is, if Georgia could pull the upset, that would get them to 5-10 with 3 to play. None
Yeah.
of them are ranked. Let's say they go get 2 more. All right, they're probably going to get in it. This is probably their season, wouldn't you say, tomorrow night?
Yes. Yes. Unequivocally. It is. So that, and to me, that's what makes them dangerous. They may have one more left in them
They might.
by doing that. Now, even if they play well, maybe like LSU. I mean, LSU has that 22-2 run.
Yeah.
And Florida's still able to overcome that one. So
And they won going away in the second half.
They sure
I've
did.
never, knowing this Florida team, I've gotten conditioned, and I get it. They were playing LSU, not a great team. That could have. You give up 22-2 run to a good team,
Yeah.
you may not come back. But I never thought Florida was going to lose that game, even in
No.
the middle of that
I agree.
22-2 run.
I agree with that. And look, again, the bigs are getting healthy and they're getting back, and I mean they will be. I still think you can really argue they're the best team in the conference. I mean, even better than Auburn the way
Yeah.
they're playing
Yeah.
right now.
Really, 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 not only nice win for Alabama, but the way they won. They didn't have to throw a miracle shot up at the end. They didn't have to rally from 15 down. I thought they pretty much dominated Kentucky.
They did in a lot of ways. Obviously, Mark Sears played well. Mark Sears was the SEC Player of the Week as well as he played. Bama beat Kentucky. They swept Kentucky.
Yeah.
In Lexington and Tuscaloosa. And I mean, Terry, that still means something. I know Kentucky is not great right now, but it's very important, I think, for them to be able to do that. Bama's got a big game tomorrow night. They've got Mississippi State, which is not going to be easy. But see, at this point of the year, at your point last time we were on, what makes these games interesting toward the end is that you've got a team that's desperate. Georgia's desperate.
Yeah.
Mississippi State is desperate.
Yeah.
In order to get in, you're going to see Ole Miss at the same way to be able to do it. Now, where Tennessee came out of, did a Martian land on?
What a game that was. That was a good game.
Night, yes.
And Chaz Lanier goes for 30. Everything he threw up went in. He's got a pretty shot. He's one of those guys, every time he shoots it, I think it's going in. He's got a pretty shot. But that was a really nice kind of right the ship win for Tennessee the road. That was a tough win. You're right, though, about getting back to Alabama real quick, or actually more Kentucky. I don't care what it is. If you get a college basketball win over Kentucky, you take it and run to the house. I don't care if you win a football game in the Swamp or Tuscaloosa or Baton Rouge at night. I don't care what you take that kind of win and run, man. Good.
Oh, yeah.
You take the win over Kentucky because when you look at Kentucky's record against everybody all time, it's a slaughter across the board. What about Arkansas? They're down 7 at the half in a desperate game at home, and they roll in this big win for Arkansas over Missouri. That might have got Arkansas in. They're 5-9 in conference.
Missouri right now, or before then, was arguably the hottest team of the conference.
They were.
The way they were playing, that Mitchell kid in the middle, what was really very impressive. And I mean, Missouri just shoots the lights out of it. That Grill kid,
gosh, he can shoot.
He's still just. I mean, Terry, you wouldn't want to play him and Horse, would you?
No.
that'd be dangerous.
No,
Wouldn't it?
He's tough. A real nice win at home. If Arkansas had lost that at home, that might have kicked them out. That might have got them in. That might have. Oklahoma with an upset win. Vanderbilt, a nice home win, might have got them in. They're 6-8 now. And what an ugly loss for Texas, clawing their way in. Texas goes to South Carolina, and really they got blown out. It was 40-22 at half. They only scored 22 points. That could be a devastating loss for Texas.
It really may have been the coup de grace, as I used to say on the cartoons about that at the end. But yeah, I mean, Texas is nowhere near playing as well as their talent. Listen, the two things that were talked about over the weekend, and this is non-SEC, but it bears repeating. One would be Duke just destroying Illinois
43 points
and Madison, and in the Garden. And the other thing was, and you remember this like I do, was Bob Knight throwing the chair across the court.
And that was like the anniversary of that, right? Yeah.
It was the anniversary of it. And the thing about it is they had Terry, to me, what was so funny about this was they were interviewing one of the former Indiana players about Knight doing that.
Right.
And he said, we were just they were interviewing the guy that was sitting the closest tonight. And the guy said, with all the stuff that we saw him do, that really didn't faze us a bit because we've seen worse than that.
Yeah, the worst thing about Bob Knight, he was a classic bully. And
Mm-hmm.
he just bullied his way, and so many people enabled him.
Mm-hmm.
That 30 for 30 is really eye-opening they have on him. And a lot of people I think were to blame in addition to Knight because he got bigger. He was the biggest thing on that Indiana campus for 20 years. He was more powerful than the board of trustees. He was more powerful than the president, and they enabled that son of a gun. He was just a crusty old curmudgeon.
Yes, yeah. Now I will say this: I've interviewed some players who played for him.
Yeah,
and Terry, would it surprise you to know that they would run through a wall for him?
They loved him. Yeah, most of them loved him. But man, he had to have multiple personalities. I mean, he would snap. He would, and that was he would snap, and that's the times we saw him on camera. How many times did he do that off camera?
Wow. They're really so telling people. People may forget this, but Knight for a while was actually an analyst with ESPN. You remember that?
I remember, and he refused to wear a tie. He wrote in his contract, "I'm wearing my pullover red sweater, or I'm not doing it."
Listen, he was always in character, shall we say?
He was. Speaking of analysts, it was a hard listen. But Dick Vitale, he was excited, but with his throat cancer, he came back, and it was a hard listen, wasn't it? But you understood he really wanted one more game, right?
Well, it's funny you said that, and again, we think a lot alike with that. But to Terry, the truth of the matter is, I think if it had been anyone else, they would not have let him go on. Because of his voice. Now, my question though is, do you think that was his last one, or will we hear him again? Because listen, your point is right. I mean, Terry, he really was nowhere near as far as voice quality with what he should have been.
It was a hard listen, and I feel for anybody going through any medical like that.
Yes.
But it's also I don't remember who the play-by-play and the other analyst was, but that had to be a hard broadcast for those other two guys as well. Had to be a really hard broadcast.
Well, that's why they had Jimmy Dykes there.
Yeah,
Jimmy Dykes was there to have. When did Carl Ravitch? Was the play-by-play guy
I think it was. Speaking of broadcasting, we've got 1 minute left. I think it's a big deal that game day will be in Gainesville Saturday.
No question.
I think that's a big deal for that basketball program.
Yes. Yes. By
the way, Jimmy Dykes, I could listen to him call basketball all day and all night. I'll tell you who else I've really enjoyed he's grown on me the last. I think John Sunvold is good. I think Sunvold is good.
So Sunvold is tremendous.
Really good.
Mark Wise is the SEC's got a lot of them. Look, I know we're short on time. Big thing tomorrow. The SEC, the Big Ten, but basically everybody meets in Dallas tomorrow to take the next step. I don't think we'll change much for 2025, but it is coming, Terry, for 26.
It really is. I hope they just hand out, here's what we're doing, and we're doing it because we're the big boys. Thank you, Brent Beard. Have a good rest of your Monday.
You too, brother. We'll talk this week, okay?
We'll get together at 4 o'clock tomorrow for the Young and Norvelle Show. Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1940.